A lot of people have been asking me lately, where did Canna Sutra originally come from? Well, it came out of a contest with the Patent and Trademark Office to get a trademark, which we have, Canna Sutra. I'd been making a THC-free libido stimulator for the local marijuana dispensaries because they couldn't have events in city parks that had THC. Now all the stoners, they really enjoyed this. They popped open those little capsules and said right on and chugged them on down. However, when we got to mainstream, a lot of people thought they looked like rectal suppositories. Something that you inserted into your anus. So we had to go back to the drawing board. So I had to get back to the old drawing board. Starting with Ron Tea Garden's Chinese tonic herbs, the Botanica erotica, Chinese herbal medicine, and herbal love potions. When we look in these books, find that chocolate is known as a aphrodisiac, is what I read. And after I figured it all out, I said, hey, this stuff people really love chocolate, and chocolate's really good. So I focused on that, and then I focused on horny goat weed, because everybody loves horny goat. So, after a sojourn in 2015, 2016 in Northern California, helping my friend out on his garden, I returned to my boat, this lovely Sunrunner. Now, I didn't have anywhere to live around in Seattle, as it's been growing up all around us so much that the rents went from $500 a month to $1,000 a month, and you get to live with 5 roommates, which sounds really fun. And I started becoming a mythbuster on all these aphrodisiac legends I read in the books that I showed you in chapter 2. This being chapter 3 is where I started to get really serious by 2016. After failing and filing on Bud Naka, I looked at how I had to meet U.S. government regulations on my supplements. And finally, with Canna Sutra in 2016, February 14th, 2016, I got awarded my trademark for my herbal aphrodisiac. So generally, here in chapter 4, going back to the drawing board means I'd have to go get out all my herbs and spices and begin mixing and blending. Now, as a base to help bind all this together, I was using cocoa butter because it hardens up and stays solid at room temperature. Here's a little chip of it right now. Now, I've been working on stuff on my boat now for going on 6.5 years. And it's been kind of interesting. Living on the boat, I found that, the gentle waves would calm me down and help me sleep. But, I started exploring into other herbs and spices. And see, that's melting up really nice. You want to melt that all fairly good. See there? Okay. Today's experiment is my double dose Canna Sutra bar. I'm adding double the herbs and the spices, and I hope I didn't put too much of the powder there. I use coffee cups. They like the double cup at the shop I go to. And then blend that all together. Oops, went a little fast on the chocolate end here. I'm gonna get that to go together into a little bit more smoother consistency. But now we can throw the chocolate in. I'm gonna start making a big double dose pancake of Canna Sutra bars. See that? Toughest thing is just getting them little lumps out, but they come out. Okay. Now I'll put in a little bit of chocolate. I'm going to let that warm up and melt off, just taking it on and off the heat without letting it get too darn hot. Chapter 5. See how it's all nice and melting down? I'm going to let it sit there and just slow melt, and then I'm going to take it off the heat and I'm going to dump it onto a paper plate with some paper on it. And we're going to test it out later today. Double dose Canna Sutra, and going to chapter 6 here pretty soon. Chapter 5. See how it's all nice and melting down? I'm going to let it sit there and just slow melt, and then I'm going to take it off the heat and I'm going to dump it onto a paper plate with some paper on it. And we're going to test it out later today. Double dose Canna Sutra, and going to chapter 6 here pretty soon. Talk to you soon. So now I have the chocolate, about 100 grams of it or so, give or take a couple grams, of 2 of my Canna Sutra chocolate bars, cooling on that piece of parchment paper. Should pop off pretty easily. I'm going to throw it in the fridge and let it cool down, and then we're going to give the double dose a taste. And I'll try out about half of that. I'll eat to test it out today to see how it works before I let the team try it. Anyhow, just over here on the boat, rocking away and making new herbs is what I'd normally do, and try different recipes. Sometimes I'd use ginseng. I would experiment around with my various herbs and spices, having fun, like today. There's the chocolate puddle. Just got done making sure that it was nice and solid. Now it's going to go break it in half. Well, somewhat. I gotta do a 50-gram dose of this. Chocolate. I think that's around 50 grams. Let's see. Chunk on there. Oh, 60 grams. Okay, I got to eat that whole big chunk. Okay, well that's a standard 50-gram bar. I'm going to eat that now. And the time now is 10 after 2 or so on Sunday. I'll check back in by 3 o'clock. I expect to have some type of reaction happening by then.